Join me as I dive deep into my finances to see if I'm secretly wasting money while living paycheck to paycheck. When it comes to our financial habits, many of us are stuck in a vicious cycle, living paycheck to paycheck without really understanding where our hard-earned money is going. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and overlook the hidden ways we're wasting our cash. One of the biggest challenges people face when living paycheck to paycheck is dealing with unexpected expenses. You know, those pesky car repairs or medical bills that always seem to pop up at the worst possible time. It's tough to plan for the unknown, and it's even tougher to recover from a financial setback when you're already living on a tight budget. Another major hurdle is poor budgeting. When you're not paying attention to your spending, it's easy to get sucked into a cycle of overspending and debt. And let's not forget about the emotional toll of living paycheck to paycheck. The stress, the anxiety, the feeling of being trapped with no way out. It's a heavy burden to carry, and it's one that many of us are all too familiar with. On top of that, there's the pressure to keep up with the latest trends and social media influencers, making us feel like we need to spend money on things we don't really need. Subscription services are a great example of how we might be wasting money without even realizing it. Think about it. How many streaming services do you really use on a regular basis? Are there any monthly subscriptions that you signed up for on a whim, but never actually use? The same goes for dining out. How many times have you grabbed lunch on the go or met a friend for dinner without even thinking about the cost? It adds up quickly, and before you know it, you're dropping hundreds of dollars a month on food alone. And then there are those impulsive purchases, the ones you make on a whim, without even stopping to think about whether you really need the item. It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of the buy. But the reality is that those purchases can quickly drain your bank account. But here's the thing, it's not just the big-ticket items that are the problem. It's the small, everyday expenses that can really add up and make a significant impact on your financial health. Take coffee, for example. If you're stopping by your local coffee shop every morning on the way to work, that's around $5 a day. It doesn't seem like much, but over the course of a month, that's over $100. And that's just one small example. When you start to add up all the little expenses, you might be shocked at just how much money you're wasting. The truth is that those small expenses can be the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and actually getting ahead financially. I mean, think about it. If you could just save an extra $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. That's a serious amount of money that could be used to pay off debt, build up your savings, or invest in your future. The most surprising thing to me is just how quickly these small expenses can add up. I mean, we're not talking about buying a fancy new car or taking a lavish vacation here. We're talking about everyday expenses that can easily be cut back on or eliminated altogether. And yet, so many of us are still stuck in this cycle of overspending and debt. It's a wake-up call, to say the least. The reality is that our financial health is entirely within our control. We just need to take a closer look at our spending habits and make some real changes. So what's the takeaway from all of this? The biggest thing is to become more aware of your spending habits and to take control of your finances. It's not about depriving yourself of things you enjoy, but about being mindful of where your money is going and making choices that align with your financial goals. By doing so, you'll be able to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck and start building a more secure financial future for yourself. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've got a story about how you've wasted money in the past or how you've overcome the challenges of living paycheck to paycheck, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. If you're looking for more tips on budgeting and saving money, be sure to check out my next video, where I'll be sharing some of my favorite budgeting hacks and strategies.